Hey, Kenny. Have you ever played against a wide receiver? I mean, I know you played against
Yeah.
him in week 3 and he only carried twice, but what he's done since then, have you ever played against a wide receiver like Deebo and just the way they use
Nah,
him in the running game and what he's been able to do?
nah, I haven't. I haven't, man. He's explosive. Man, he can catch and do all the things at receiver, but when they put him in the backfield, I mean, he's a running back, and he's a tough guy to tackle. And he's explosive, and they use him in all kind of different ways. So, uh, yeah, man, he's a tough guy to play against.
Dave Schrader.
Hey, Kenny, from your playoff experience, can you put into words how vital it is to impact the opposing quarterback to get the win at the end of the day?
Yeah, it's very vital. Just got to just stop the run. Get after the passer. That's the big thing. And get him to force, bad throws and hopefully we can get some turnovers. But yeah, definitely, that's a huge part. Of in the playoffs. As a defensive lineman, you play against like at this point, it's all great quarterbacks. And when you get into the playoffs and when you get to this point, you got to get after them and affect them and make them make bad decisions and throws.
Bill Huber.
Hey Kenny, how you doing?
Good.
Hey, going back to Deebo for a second. From your perspective, does anything change when he's back there compared to Mitchell or any of those guys? I mean, is it the same plays? Is it the same plays run differently? Is there anything there?
I think they're more like creative when he's back there. They do a little bit more stuff, but for the most part, I mean, he's running their offense. He's running everything that everything that the running back is running. Mitchell and those guys, he's doing the same thing. So I think they're a little bit more creative with him though, just because of his skill set, what he brings, and him being able to catch out of the backfield and all the stuff that he can do. I think they're just more creative with him back there, but he still runs the normal stuff that they run.
Wes Hodgwitz.
Hey, Kenny, along those lines with Mitchell, it does seem like their run game has kind of turned a corner over the last 2 months with him kind of being the predominant runner. What stands out to you about him, and what do you think sort of separates him as far as a back is concerned?
Man, they just do a great job at. I mean, I think they're just they're a well coached team. They're a well coached team, and he does a great job. I hear like our coaches talking about all the time with the running backs pressing the line and getting guys to run sideways and them being able to create cutback lanes and all that kind of stuff for the offensive linemen and for themselves. So I think he does a great job at that. He's well coached and he's doing his job really well. Yeah, we played him earlier in the year, but definitely they got a lot better running the ball and all that kind of stuff. So gonna have our hands full with him too.
Wes Hodgwitz.
Oh, and then the other thing I just wanted to ask really quick, Kenny, I don't know if what you were expecting last night or last week with Whitney being back at practice, but what was that like? What was sort of your reaction to seeing him come back? And obviously you got to see whether or not he plays, but what do you think he sort of added to your locker room since he's actually been, in Green Bay these last few months?
Man, another guy that can get after the passer, that has a lot of experience in this league, and that can make plays. When he was in, he was making all kinds of plays and creating different matchups for all of us. The more rushers and stuff like that we got, the more opportunities you create for myself, you create for everybody else. So happy to have him, and it's just crazy like to see him practicing alone after the injury that he's had. Like I never seen that before. So every time I hear somebody hurt their bicep or something like that, they're usually out for the year. So to see that, it's credit to him and credit to our training staff and all those guys that's trying to get him back.
Bill Huber.
And I know you kind of hit on this with Wes a second ago, but do you think you'll get more one-on-one opportunities if those guys are back out there with you? Like, I'm not sure if you've gotten more attention this year without them.
I think so. I mean, depending on whatever their game plan is, whoever they want to double or whatever. But I mean, one of us, somebody's gonna get more opportunities, and whoever it is, we got to be able to take advantage of them.
MK Burgess.
Oh, Kenny, you got me?
Yep.
Okay. What has been the mindset, especially? I know you guys had a little bit of a struggle with the run defense against the Browns, and you guys know that that's going to be the Niners' game plan.
Yeah.
But how have you guys had a positive mindset going in to a game that your season kind of hinges on?
I mean, just keep playing how we've been playing. I think we played really good football. And guys, we got to just come out. We got to start fast. We got to be physical and do our job. I mean, nothing more, nothing less. I've been in the playoffs a lot, and it all comes down to that. Being physical, do your job, and just handle business. It's a really good football team coming in here, and we gotta step up to the challenge and do our part.
Tim Van Born.
And Kenny, how eager are you to play? It's been a little bit of time. You chop it at the bit.
Yeah, man. I ain't played in 2 weeks, almost 3 weeks, so I'm excited to go.
Tom Silverstein.
Hey, Kenny. You probably saw the play Deebo Samuel scored on that from the backfield against Dallas. And, on that play, they pulled a couple linemen. They'll run the wide zone sometimes. They seem pretty multiple. What do you have to do to stay honest, so that you're not over pursuing, so you're not getting messed up by their play fakes, stuff like that?
It's all with film study, man. It's all film study, and at the end of the day, like I said, doing your job, just being where you're supposed to be. We're very well coached, and wherever our key takes us, if it's a guy pulling or whatever, if our key takes us to the pool, then we gotta set the edge, and the guys inside gotta funnel it. I mean, the guys outside gotta funnel it back inside, and the inside pursuit gotta go make the play. So, we well coached, and we coach up on all that stuff. We gotta just execute it when we get out there.
Jim Trotter.
Hey, Kenny, I'm curious, from a defensive standpoint, what makes Kyle Shanahan such a challenge to play against and his play designs?
I think for everybody, it's the things that he does with guys' eyes. Like the way he designs his plays, the motions, and all the types of different shifts and all that kind of stuff. He gets everybody's eyes wandering. If your eyes is in the wrong place, if you're not doing your job or doing what you're coached to do, and he's able to exploit that. So I think it's eyes, and really just your eyes. You gotta have great eyes when you play against a Kyle Shanahan coach team.
And how difficult is it not to bite on that candy he gives you?
How difficult is it? I mean, I don't know. I mean, if you wanna win the football game, like, hey, you better do your job. So, I mean, it ain't difficult. I mean, we gotta just like you said, not bite on the candy or whatever. Just go out, handle business, do our job, play with great eyes, have our eyes on our man or whoever we playing against, and do our job. We'll be fine.
Bill Huber.
Kenny, you're a California guy. It was cold out there today. It'll be cold Saturday. Do you like it? And if so, why? And what's the advantage for you guys?
I'm used to it now. Being a California guy, I'm used to it. Do I like it? I mean, I don't like it, every day. But game day, it is what it is. You got to go out there and play. But I think it's definitely an advantage for us. We playing it. It's our environment. We here every day, and it only strengthens us as a team. Coming out and practicing in it every day and playing in it all the time. So, as a defensive lineman, offensive linemen are always going. They're retreating. They're going backwards when they pass setting. A guy like me, I'm a bull rusher. I'm a power rusher. So when that ground get hard and it's cold out there and it's hard for offensive linemen to stick their feet in the ground and all that kind of stuff, and plant, they start to slide, when you bull rush them. So I think that's an advantage for us, as defensive linemen. And that's why I think, when it get cold, a lot of offenses want to run the ball because everybody wants to go forward and dig the cleats in the ground. So, Yeah, I think that's like the advantage for defensive linemen is if you can stop the run and get guys in the pass situations. I mean, you don't want to be planting your feet and in the cold all day and just throwing your hands and your hands hurting and all that kind of stuff. You don't want to be doing that all day. So it's tough to stop that once you get guys to just rely on passing the ball.
Cassidy Hill.
Hey, Kenny, sort of building off of Jim's question, Shanahan uses motion so much more almost than any other team. The other day versus Dallas, he even motioned Trent Williams.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, so when they're out there motioning a tackle, I mean, from your point of view, what has to happen when a guy goes in motion, even if it's on the line? What does that do for you?
Just like I said, like we got to have great eyes. We got to understand, what our job is required for us to do, be where we're supposed to be, no matter where they motion or shift to or whatever. We gotta have our feet in the ground, get the call, have great eyes, be alert on whatever's going on, and play ball. The motions and shifts and all that kind of stuff. I mean, it does a little bit for me depending on if we slide in the front or all that kind of stuff. But for the most part, I think it's like the fits of the back end and the fits of the linebackers and all that kind of stuff. We talk about what gaps they're hitting and all that kind of stuff. So we got to make sure as defensive linemen, we through our film study and stuff, when we see those shifts and motions, we got to get lined up correctly. We got to get our feet in the ground and be able to play fast and play physical.
Tom Silverstein.
Hey, Kenny, the All-Pro voters must have seen something they really liked about Devondre Campbell for him to become first team. What is it that you don't see or that, the normal eye or fan doesn't see that he does for you guys defensively?
I'm big on guys that study the game and that you could talk football with, and he's always a guy that you can do that with. I know I want to say on Wednesdays, he usually goes in and he goes early and take his his morning run game notes and all that kind of stuff, and you can just tell he's a guy that studies the game, that studies the film work. I'm big on guys that do that kind of stuff, and when you see that and you see how guys react on the field and how they let they just prepare and then they let their instincts just take over. It's great to see. It's great to see. He's an amazing talent. But when you prepare how you prepare, and then you can bring that on the field and just let your body do the work and just go out and ball. I love seeing stuff like that. So I just think the way DC prepares, it really just helps him out when he goes out because he's an amazing athlete. He can run with everybody, run with all the tight ends, run with receivers and all that kind of stuff. So when you add that on to how he's preparing each and every week, you get an amazing player like that. Get All-Pro.
Dave Schrader.
Hey, Kenny, you got a two-parter for you. Could you compare and contrast the environment with all the fans for the playoff game against Seattle 2 years ago with your two playoff games with limited attendance last year? And then a second question, could you put into words how important a fast start is in the playoffs?
Compare and contrast the Seattle game.
Seattle versus the two last year. What that meant to the team, the atmosphere, all that.
Oh, yeah, that meant a lot. This is the best, environment, in the NFL, and our fans are great. So when you got everybody here and you get that crowd noise, it's cold, just that Lambeau, environment, that Lambeau feel is great, and it pumps everybody up. Not only you pumped up because you're in the playoffs, but the crowd and just the energy that you get from the crowd and from everybody being there, it just takes your energy through the roof. And your second question was, what was it again?
Could you put into words how important a fast start is and what that does for you as a defense if you're able to get a lead in the playoffs?
Oh yeah, fast start is always is always big, especially in the playoffs. You know, being at home, you know, you want to get your crowd, get your crowd going. They're already gonna be, you know, loud and stuff early in the game. You know that. But if you can get a lead and you can, you know, make some huge plays defensively and offensively and get off to a fast start, and you know, get guys on their heels, like get the other team on their heels. I mean, that's huge. You know, the momentum is huge, and it only just help us.